Yeah, once again, very good morning to all. Respected principal sir, respected guest speaker, today's speaker, Shri Sai Chandrasekhar sir, and member of Satya Seva Sai organization, H.V. Kiran sir. So I welcome you all to today's program, a talk on hope. Hope means humanity of positive energy. It is a personality development program. Now I request Dr. Suma Swami Madam from CSE department so to give a brief introduction about the program. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Welcome all the dignitaries on the dais. Welcome all the students to this particular event, which is a personality development program. I am Dr. Suma Swami, Dean R&D and Professor from Computer Science and Engineering. I am privileged to introduce the personality development program conducted by Satya Sai Seva Organization, Karnataka, and they will be talking about HOPE, which is their service project. HOPE means Humanity of Positive Energy. HOPE is one of the service projects initiated by the youth of Sri Satya Sai Seva Organization, Karnataka. It is the project focused completely on the youth. Youth is the hope and backbone of every country. Bhagwan Baba says, where there is a richness in the heart, there is a beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there is peace in the world. Each one of us dream for a developed, corrupt-free nation which has a congenial environment for growth, prosperity, and development of an individual and the society as a whole. This dream can turn into a reality only when the youth of the nation transforms into a powerful and positive energy. It is possible only when there is an integrated development of an individual's personality. The first phase of HOPE consists of an interactive session with the first-year students of any academic degree. The speakers come from an eminent educational and professional backgrounds who can elucidate various constituents of personality, that is physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual, coupled with human values. Even today's corporate environment demands a workforce with a right attitude besides aptitude. HOPE is a tiny endeavor by Sri Satya Sai Seva organizations to include the significance of an all-round development of an individual's personality, which is the foundation for one's personal and professional growth. This leads to the progress of the society and the nation as a whole. I welcome the youth team of Sri Satya Sai Seva Organization to conduct the personality development program. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now request Professor Shweta Madam from the Mathematics Department to introduce our guest speaker, Shri Sai Chandrasekhar sir.
Good morning. I'm glad to introduce the chief speaker of today's program, Shri Sai Chandrasekhar. Shri Sai Chandrasekhar is a member of the Shri Satya Sai Seva Organization, Bengaluru South District, Karnataka South. He also served as the district president of Bengaluru South. He is an alumnus of the Shri Satya Sai Bal Vikas program. On the professional front, he works as the executive director, operations at Agastya International Foundation, Bengaluru, a non-profit organization which runs the world's largest hands-on science education program, serving the education needs of economically backward school children across India. Prior to this, he spent over 2 decades in the IT hardware and services industry with organizations like Hewlett Packard, Asia Pacific, and Japan with significant contributions. He is very passionate about education and strongly believes in the concept of self-learning. He is also currently learning as well as teaching the Vedas. He is an electrical engineer and an alumnus of the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. We are fortunate to have you here today, sir. Welcome. Also, we have with us H.V. Kiran. Sir, H.V. Kiran sir is a member of the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization and currently serves as District Education Coordinator, Bengaluru South District. We are glad to have you here, sir. Welcome to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, madam. I would request the respected principal, sir, Dr. Sumaswamy madam and Professor Shweta madam to felicitate our guest speaker today. ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಲೈವ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಚೇರೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು ಸರ್ ಯಾಕೆ Now request sir to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಜೇಬಲ್ ಹಾಕೋಬೋದಾ? Good morning. Good morning. Okay, thank you. I hope all of you had your breakfast. No? Oh, it's a combination. Okay. Breakfast gives us energy. But here we are today to see how collectively all of us can feed a lot of positive energy into this world, because this world badly needs, right? So before I start, I'll start with a small story. So, normally grandparents like to tell stories to their children. So there was this small boy who was sitting in the lap of his grandfather, and the grandfather was telling him, in each one of us, there are two dogs within us. ಎರಡು ನಾಯಿಗಳಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ. One is a very good dog. The other is, if one is a very good dog, the other one is a bad dog. And what do these two do? They are always fighting with each other. Constantly. Then this boy becomes very curious. Tata, ಯಾವ ಡಾಗ್ ಗೆಲ್ಲತ್ತೆ? ಹೇಳಿ ತಾತ, ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು ಆನ್ಸರ್? ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು? ಗೆಸ್. He says bad dog. Any other guesses? ಯಾವುದು ಗೆಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಜಗಳ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೋ ಎಂಡ್. Any other answer?
Sir, it's the one you feed.
Give him a big round of applause. The dog which you feed the most. Alright? ನಾವು ಯಾವುದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಊಟ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವೋ ಅದು ಗೆಲ್ಲುತ್ತೆ. So it's up to each one of us. Sir, I think he deserves some treat. So the dog to which we feed the most is going to win. ಸೊ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಊಟ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಟು ದಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆರ್ ದ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನ್ ವೆದರ್ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆರ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, that we are in this journey together. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಾನು ಬಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಭಾಷಣ ಕೊಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರ ಜೊತೆ ನಾನು ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದು ಫಸ್ಟು ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಸೇರುತ್ತೆ ಫಸ್ಟು? ಮೈಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೈ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಮೌತ್. And sound travels at speed, ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರು? ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಏರ್. Don't remember. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The thing is, my ear is closest to my mouth, so I am the first one to hear this. And so I am the first beneficiary of whatever I say. Okay? Now, the other thing is, I think I really want to appreciate our friend, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು? ವರುಣ್, ಸ್ವರೂಪ್. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇರಲಿ, ನಾವು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಸು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಟು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬೋರಿಂಗ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಯಾವಾಗತ್ತೆ? when we start interacting as audience with the person who's, avaga you get two benefits. One is you remember much longer. Two is you get to learn what you want, not what I want to tell, but what you want to learn, because you will ask questions about what you're interested in. So let us ensure that this is participative and we have a lot of discussions. Okay? I think all of you are familiar. ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೂ ಇರಬೇಕು ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಎ ಐ ಬಂತು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎ ಐಯಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಇನ್ನೂ 3 ವರ್ಷ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಜುಯೇಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ AI ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ವೇ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೆಡೆಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನಿಟಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ AI, ಏನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್? ಹಾಂ, AI, when you think about AI, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Huh? Robos, okay. Then what else? Anything else? Chatbots, okay. Automation, ChatGPT, efficiency. Okay, all these are very, very important. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ. But one of the most critical aspects which the world over it's being debated is ethics. Ethics in AI. ಅಂದರೆ AI ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಎಥಿಕಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈಡ್ ಓಪನ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಇರಲಿ ಟೂಲ್, ಚಾಕು ಇದೆ, ಚಾಕುವಿಂದ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಹಿ ಸೇವ್ಸ್ ಲೈವ್ಸ್. ಡೆಕಾಯ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಚಾಕುವಿಂದ ಕೊಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಚಾಕುದ ತಪ್ಪು? It is not the tool, it is the person using the tool who decides how they use the tool. That's why ethics becomes very, very important. We can't blame AI. The users of AI is what make the difference. So again, from that standpoint, we have to have a lot of positivity in this world so that all these changes are for the better. So ಈಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಕ್ರೈಸಿಸ್ಸೇ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಾನ್ ವಾರು, ಯುಕ್ರೇನ್ ರಷ್ಯಾ ವಾರು, ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನ್ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ್ ವಾರು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೂ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಗಲಾಟೆ ನಡೀತಾನೆ ಇದೆ. ವಿತಿನ್ ದಿ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ರೈಸಿಸ್. ಕ್ರೈಸಿಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಭಯ, there is fear, there is anxiety. ಏನಾಗತ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಈಗ LPG ಸಿಗತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವೋ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ಊಟ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ there's so many things which come. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈಗ ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಚ್ಯೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎ ರೇರಿಟಿ. ವರ್ಚ್ಯೂ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋರು ಭಾಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಇನ್ನೂ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಹಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಡೌನ್. ಬಟ್ ಅದೊಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಬೇಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಹಾರ ಹಾಕಿ ಈ ಥರ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದವ್ರಿಗೂ ಸನ್ಮಾನ, ಆ ಥರ ಆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ನೆಗೆಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಇದರಿಂದ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ದಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವೇ ಟು ಕೌಂಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ಬಂದು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ ಥರ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ linked. Okay, so can you tell me something about your best friend? You don't need to tell me the name. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎರಡು ಮಾತು. She's kind. Okay. Helps people in need. Gives suggestions when she is in confusion. Okay. Excellent. Give her a round of applause. Anyone else here would like to say something about the person you like the most? ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ, ತೆಲುಗು, ತಮಿಳ್, ಮರಾಠಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮಿಷ್ಟ. ಹಾಂ, ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಹೇಳಿ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ. ಸಿ, ಈಗ whatever you said about your friend is the image of that person in your mind. Now suppose I say Virat Kohli. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಫಸ್ಟು? ಅಗ್ರೆಷನ್, ಇವರು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಇದೇನು, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿರಾಟ್ ಕೊಹ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿರಾಟ್ ಕೊಹ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ, ವಿರಾಟ್ ಕೊಹ್ಲಿ's personality. So each one of us has our own personality, right? And you can test your personality by asking your friends, hey, can you tell me, when you think of me, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Just like he said, Virat Kohli means aggression, consistency. So that personality is dependent on, is what? Is made of few things. One is the belief system. Andre, now she believes that her friend helps people who are in need, right? And therefore her behavior towards her friend will be based on that, right? So our beliefs will drive our behavior. And that Virat Kohli believes that if he is aggressive on the field, he will perform better. That is his belief system. Whereas an Anil Kumble may not believe that. He is very calm, quiet, but he also performs, right? So Anil Kumble's personality is very different from Virat Kohli's personality, but both perform, right? So our belief system drives the behavior. The mindset, what mindset I come with, is again part of my personality. And of course the skills that I have, it's a combination of all these, right? If Virat Kohli was not scoring runs, we will not have that aura around him, right, in terms of a personality. So what do you think, this personality is nothing but your brand. Why is it important? Can someone take a guess? Why is your personality important? It affects how others interact with me. Excellent. What else? Why is it important? Any other guesses or any other? Because this is something which you would have experienced, right? Why is the personality important? Try. Why is it important? How does it matter what my personality is? The way people perceive us. And does it matter for you to get a job? Does your personality matter? Yes? So there was a survey done at the World Economic Forum with 1,480 CEOs. They were asked only one question. ನೀವು ಯಾರನ್ನಾದರೂ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋವಾಗ ಏನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್? ಎನಿ ಗೆಸಸ್? What they said, most of them? Behavior, discipline. Interview ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತಾ? You will? Okay. Then character. Excellent. Because character is a very big word which encompasses a lot of things within that. So what they said are three things. Top three I'm telling you. The first one they said is adaptability. Andre, how easily you adapt to any changing environment in your surroundings or wherever. Yakandre, in life there are always these crises which come. How do you adapt? So, how do you adapt in a crisis? That is the first one. Second is creative problem solving. Third is curiosity. ಈ ಮೂರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾರೂ ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ, ಯಾರು, nobody bothered about it, right? Now all these are part of your personality. So when you work on your personality, remember that you stand a better chance of getting a job, because that's what in today's AI ಬಂದಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ AI ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು? ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. It is who I am which becomes very important. So what will influence this? So if you see, first thing is upbringing. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಯಾವ ವಾತಾವರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ನಾಲಿಟಿ. ನೀವೇ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈಗ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದವರು ಒಂಥರ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದವ್ರು ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದವ್ರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಥರ, ವಾರ್ ಝೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದವರು ತುಂಬ ಅಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್. ಸೊ ಯುವರ್ ಅಪ್ಬ್ರಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಎರಡನೇದು ಹೈ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಈವೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈವೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಯಿತು, try this pocket. ಸೊ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈವೆಂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್, ಆ ಥರದ್ದು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಸ್ನಾಲಿಟಿ. ವಾಸನಾಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ಸ್. ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಬ್ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಂತ, ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್. ಈ ಮೂರು ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ದೆಮ್. ಬಟ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 3 ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಒಂದು, ವಾಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ ಐ ಗೆಟ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಏನೋ ಅವ್ರ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಜೊತೆ, ದಟ್ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ವನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೊ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ so then her friend becomes a role model for her. So role models, experiences, and most important, the kind of company we keep. ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪನಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸು ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಫ್ಯೂ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗನಿಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಹಿಮ್, ಅರೆ ನೀನು ಹೇಳುಪ್ಪ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಅಂತ.
the personality. So let's now, one, we know what is personality, why it's important, and what influences that. So now let's get into the main part. So now ellaru, we are a combination of four things. One is our physical personality, second is intellectual, third is emotional, and fourth is spiritual. Okay? A combination of all these four is what each one of us is. And that combination, hello? So this combination varies person to person. In someone, the emotional quotient is high. In somebody else, the intelligence quotient is high, and so on. But what is important is, to be a balanced personality, you need to have all these in a right combination. Now, what do you think is the answer? Will your college pass the student? Huh? Yes or no? No. Yes? Wow. Someone said yes. So why? I also need to know why. Whether you say yes or no. ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಇವ್ರು ಪಾಸ? ಯಾಕೆ? ಯಾಕೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ? ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ 29. ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಫೇಲು. ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ ನೀವು ಪಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ, ಆಲ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇದಿದೆ ಸಾಕು ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಫೋರ್. So let us see each one of these one by one. First thing is physical personality. So that is nothing but a healthy body, healthy mind. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ದಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಹೆಲ್ದಿ? Morning exercise, excellent. Yoga, okay. He said yoga, he said morning exercise. Excellent. Maintaining diet. Sir, diet. Or ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ diet ಕೊಡಿ. You know, so what kind of diet you have is important. So positive food habits is the first step for a physical quotient. And what does that mean? Time ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗಾಗತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ? ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 9 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಎತ್ತಿ 9:15 ಕ್ಲಾಸು ಓಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. 8:30ಗೆನಾ? ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ 9:30 ಸೊ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲವ್ರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ನಾಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್. Okay, fine, we'll plan, but what do we eat? ಏನು ದಿನ ಏನು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಚಪಾತಿ, ರೋಟಿ, ಪಲಾವ್. ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ತಿನ್ನಲ್ವಾ? Rarely. Wow. Sir, she rarely eats chips, so let us pollute her by giving her a chocolate. So, junk food. I saw one shop just outside within the campus. I don't know what they sell. Gobi Manchurian. Arey wah. Huh? It has everything that you should not have, right? But sir, it's very tasty, sir. Huh? ಸಿ ನಮಗೆ ದೇವರು 5 ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮುಚ್ಚಳ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಾಯಿಗೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಬಂದಿದಾಗ ಬಾಯಿ ಮುಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಸಿ ಜಂಕ್ ಫುಡ್, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೌತ್. But actually what happens, that's when the mouth opens. Right? ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಂ. ರೋಟಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಟ್ ಎನಿವೇ, I think all of us know this. It's only that we have to have the strength and courage to implement it. Why is it important? There is a saying, ಯಥಾ ಅನ್ ತಥಾ ಮನ್. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ತಿಂತೀವೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಸರ್? ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್? ಇರ್ಬೋದಾ? ಏನನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? What I eat will influence my mind. Yes, excellent. So, ಇದು ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಚರ್ಸು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಫ್ರಮ್ ಏನ್ಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಐ ಬೀನ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್. ಬಟ್ ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್, ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್, ವಿಚ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾವು ತಿಂದಿದ್ದ ಊಟ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಜೀರ್ಣ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟು ದಿ ಬಾಡಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅತಿ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮದು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಈಟ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೈ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅವರ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ವಿತೌಟ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಎನಿ ವರ್ಕ್? ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್? ಹಾಂ? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ಅನ್ನೋ, ವಿತೌಟ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಥಾಟ್. If you are tired, what is the thought in your mind? I want to sleep. So that thought is preceding. Every action is preceded by a thought, you know. And human beings are probably the only ones who have the power of discrimination, thinking and discrimination. That's why animals are all instinctive. Instinctive andre they don't think, they just act. So there are certain times when we also behave instinctively. Now suppose I am going in a bus and the bus catches fire. Now you are not going to sit and calculate which window is how far, which door is how far, what is the angle from here to there, Pythagoras theorem. You just run, period, right? ಅವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಟೀಚರು, ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೂ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೊ ಯುವರ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ದಿ ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ any action you keep doing again and again, it becomes habit. And sum total of all your habits is, ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಯಾರ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಪುಟ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಮಚ್ ಬಿಗರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಏನು ಊಟ ತಿಂತೀರೋ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Now think of it. This is the linkage. If ಯಾರಾದರೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನಿ, ವುಡ್ ಯು ಬಿಲೀವ್? ನೋ. ನೌ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್? So you don't have to say yes because I said, okay? You have to believe in it. No, it's very important, because you may want to be nice to me and therefore say, yeah, what you say is correct. In your mind, you may be saying, ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದ, right? That's fine, but please start thinking about it and you will get the answer for yourself. Then you will get the conviction. Someone said yoga, someone said physical exercise. How many of you have made New Year resolutions? That's all. So others have even stopped making resolution. ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ ಹೆಂಗೂ ಅದು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ವೈ ವಿ ಮೇಕ್ ರೆಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಟ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್? ಹೌದಾ? So how many of you have some form of physical exercise every day? Wow, excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. 20 of you. That's pretty good. Excellent. I don't need to tell you anything more if you're already doing this. But it's very important. Just to tell you that ಎಲ್ಲರ ಹತ್ರನೂ 24 ಗಂಟೆ ಇದೆ ಟೈಮ್, ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರನೂ 1 ನಿಮಿಷ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ? I have in the last 1 year, guess how much I have walked? How much do you think I have walked in the last 1 year? I walked 2,200 kilometers in the last 1 year. Now you are busy calculating what is 2,200 divided by 365. ಎಷ್ಟಾಯಿತು per day average? Engineers alva, it's but natural. Right? So, where there is a will, there is a way. You might have heard this in childhood. Now, that is only half the story. So, one half of the story is, how do I build a good physical quotient? The other half is, how do I not destroy what is already there? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಎವರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಸೇ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಎವರ್, ಹರ್ಟ್ ನೆವರ್. ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ the moment you have some negative habits, then again, now ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? You do some positive energy, but if your negative energy goes beyond, then there's no use. So the best thing is to remove all negative energy by saying no to these kind of habits. And of course, the most difficult out of these three is what? Mobile. That is the most difficult thing. How many of you have the habit that so many minutes or hours in a day I will shut off the mobile? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there are about 10 of you. I think that's excellent practice. Kudos to all of you. I think we should give them a big round of applause, those 10 people, whoever they are. Because that's the most difficult thing to do. but the most important thing to do. It's always difficult. The important things are always difficult. But if you do, you get the maximum benefit out of this. So now let us, how many of you, ಈಗ IPL ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, so there is something, how many of you support RCB? ಈ ಸಲ ಕಪ್ ನಮ್ದೆ. So there is one unique achievement RCB ಇದು, ಏನದು? ಏನದು ಯುನೀಕ್ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್? ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಪ್ ಎತ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಓಕೆ. Virat Kohli is the only player who's played 18 years for the same team. Okay, good. What was that? Team owned by an alcohol company. So RCB has the unique. Excellent. We hold both the women's and the men's title. RCB. We are the women's Premier League champion and the IPL champion, both. And do you know how we won the women's championship? Who was the star performer? Smriti Mandana. Any idea? Do you remember how much she scored? Yeah, highest. She scored 81 in 42 balls. But what is so special about that? There are many players who have done that, right? It's linked to something that we are talking, to the physical quotient, physical personality. You know, the night before the match, she had a temperature of 103 degrees. She woke up, took medication, came out, and scored 42 balls and got the title, captain. So imagine what kind of a physical stamina she must be having. What kind what kind of efforts she put in to maintain that physical personality, physical quotient. That's the challenge. Now let's talk about the story of this. How many of you have heard of Arunima Sinha? Okay, there's one. Okay, so Arunima Sinha was a volleyball player. Okay, now she was traveling in a train in Uttar Pradesh when some robbers attacked. And being an athlete, she resisted them. And you know what they did? They lifted her and threw her out of the train. Train is running train. And she fell on the tracks on the other side. Is that bad enough? Yeah? She would have been very happy if it was just that. Immediately, another train came. And her leg got cut off. It went over her leg, cut. Is that bad enough? What do you feel? Bad enough, right? She was lying there for 7 hours with no one to support her. Is that bad enough? There were dogs roaming around. You know the railway tracks. Is that bad enough? She was then picked up in the morning and rushed to a hospital. What kind of hospital? The government hospital in the nearest village. We all know how they are, right? And there, the doctor said, you need to be operated upon immediately. So what would she say? Go ahead. But I have a problem. What's the problem? I don't have stock of anesthesia. Is that bad enough? Now she says, okay, what can I do? Go ahead, perform the surgery. And they do that. Is that bad enough? The infection has spread. Now there's gangrene setting in. And by now, the media has picked it up. And so she shifted to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences because of the media pressure. And it took her 6 months in the hospital. 6 months to just recover. And she had to be put a prosthetic leg. What would be our thoughts when, if God forbid it should not happen to any of us, anyone for that matter, what do you think would be running in our minds if we were in that kind of a situation? Complete negative thoughts. You know what was running in her mind? She said, I want to climb Mount Everest. That is what was a thought in her mind. She's lying on a hospital bed, one leg cut off, had surgery without anesthesia, 6 months to recover, extremely painful. Prosthetic legs can be very painful. And she is dreaming of herself standing on top of Mount Everest. We are in such great health, and we feel it's so tiring if we have to walk some distance. And she made it. It took years of training, and she was the first female amputee to reach Mount Everest. Now, what does this talk about her personality? Physical endurance? Absolutely. I don't think anyone in this room, including myself, and I'm speaking for all of us, can endure that kind of physical pain. Emotional? What kind of emotions would be running through a person? And then she's saying, I want to climb Mount Everest. And she actually achieves that. So it shows the kind of importance that is there for each of these. You know, probably being an athlete and following very rigorous thing helped her in terms of her physical quotient. But that's not enough. The emotional quotient was even more important. So many times you say, right, if you look at Sachin or Virat, what do they say? It is more in the mind, they say. Winning is in the mind. So that's kind of the importance of this. So I'll pause here. If anyone wants to make any comments, you have any questions, anything, I'll just pause to take. You can just, if you want to share a thought, you can just share. ನೀವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೇ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನು ರೂಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇದು ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್. ಇದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಐ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್. ನೀವು ಗೂಗಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅರುಣಿಮಾ ಸಿನ್ಹಾ ಅಂತ ಸಾಕಾದಷ್ಟು ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ನಥಿಂಗ್? ಓಕೆ. So we then move to intellectual personality. Physical personality ಆಯಿತು, intellectual personality. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಸಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, ಐ ಕ್ಯೂ ಅಂದರೆ ಓ ಮೇಧಾವಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಐ ಕ್ಯೂ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ವರ್ಬಲ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಹೆನ್ಷನ್, ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಮರಿ, reasoning, processing speed, how quickly you are able to process things in your mind, etc. That is what IQ is all about. And if you see, today again we discussed with AI and all, knowledge is no longer a differentiator. It is how you apply that knowledge which becomes most important. Just having knowledge is not sufficient. And so how do you build on your IQ? So first is cognitive training. Andre ಏನು? How do I train my brain? Any suggestions? ಹೇಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರೈನ್ನ? Anyone? Take a guess. Any guess? Just you want to make your brain active. Now. Huh? Puzzles. Yeah. Excellent. Building habits. Okay. Excellent. Puzzles is definitely a very good thing. What it means is you have to give something new to your brain. See, there are millions of neurons inside the brain which are connecting. The connection of the neurons is what activates this. And every time you're trying something new, which is not something you know very well, then it activates. So when you do cognitive training, you have to try something totally new. For example, you are nowhere close to being a music lover, let's assume. You take a plate and start playing tabla. A simple thing. That activates your brain. Something which you have not done before. You take up a language which you don't know at all and try to speak. ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮರಾಠಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ ನಾವಿಬ್ರು, ನನಗೂ ಬರಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೂ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ಯುಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್. Lifestyle and physical health has a big impact on the IQ, which we discussed earlier also, because your lifestyle impacts your mind, and from the mind, thoughts, and IQ is all everything to do with mind, right? Changing your routine, this is a very interesting thing. Try to do something. Suppose every day you come by a particular bus to the college. Take a different bus, different route. Get off in a different stop. Okay. Every day you reach at 8:25. Come at 8:10. So change your routine, something. Try to write with your left hand if you are a right-hander. Whenever you change your routine, that again activates the brain. So once in a while, just keep every day something new. Maybe it's just you use a new word, that's all. That is also different. A word which you have never used before. So these are things which stimulate the brain, and therefore that is what leads to it. Growth mindset. Growth mindset andre looking at everything in a very positive way, and looking at idu glass is half full or half empty antaralla. You must have heard. Half full anoru, that means they are looking at what is in the glass. Half empty anoru, ಏನು ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅದು ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ what do you focus on? Focus on the positive things, and then that will again help in your IQ. Reading. How many of you have the habit of reading books outside of your class books, outside of your textbooks? Okay, good, good. I think again that's a very good habit, a habit which is dying very fast these days. But I can tell you from experience that you will never regret if you develop that habit. My son is probably 4-5 years elder to you, maybe 3-4 years elder to you, and he is a voracious reader. I have 2 almirahs full of books which he has been buying, and he still keeps buying regularly and reading all kinds of books. And I can tell you that makes a huge difference on your personality. Now tell me, let me ask you this question. Suppose you are, let's say, Infosys company ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಯು ಹರ್ಡ್. ಇನ್ಫೋಸಿಸ್ CEO ಜೊತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ? ನೀವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಆನ್ ಅವರ್ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯು? ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಎ ಕನ್ವರ್ಸೇಷನ್? CEO of Infosys, 1/2 an hour, only the 2 of you. And you have to start the conversation. He will not start. That is the rule. How many of you are confident that you can do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Good. There are about 15 of you who are confident. So just think of that. Now, if you are a regular reader, you will always find something common. By asking a few questions, you will find, oh, he also likes this and I read about this. So let me start talking about it. Invariably it will be there. So you can strike some very beautiful conversations. Right? And that is where this helps in broadening your whole perspective. And so if you see, knowledge is fundamental, it's core to our being. But what is important is application of that knowledge, and that is where your intelligence comes into play, not just gaining knowledge. And this is very important because all of you are in college studying, and when I was your age, I used to mug a lot before exams and after exam. Suppose you have one paper today, you prepared very hard and answered it, and tomorrow when you come for the exam, the same paper is given. Will you get less marks or more marks than today? Less. Because 25% or 50 or 75 or 100% of it is already emptied and it is replaced by something else. Right? So that doesn't help. So we'll just go through this and see. Okay. Can we have the lights back, please? So what do you understand by this? Can someone say what's the learning from this? I hope you understood, you were able to read, or was it very fast? Huh? Would someone want to just say what you understood? Maybe just summary. Anyone? For the benefit of those who could not read that fast. Yeah, go ahead. Give the mic.
So one day Edison came with a letter back from his school and gave it to his mother. So her mother reads that Edison, your child is genius. We cannot handle him with his genius, and we don't even have enough teachers who can teach him. So then in the small Einstein mind, it gets strongly imprinted that he is a genius, he can learn anything. A positive mindset will be brought into his mind. But when she passed away, Einstein is a very famous scientist. Edison is a very famous scientist.
Yeah.
He gets that old letter and he reads, actually the teacher had written that he is very mentally poor, we cannot even train him. So the mother, what she had fed him with a positive impact, has made him a very genius scientist.
Excellent,
So from
excellent.
this we learned the importance of positive words, what impacts.
Excellent. A big round of applause to her. Now, there are many learnings from this. What did Edison invent? The electric bulb. Right? We would all be in darkness otherwise. Now, there are a few things which we need to understand from this. We normally judge people. Hey, this person is intelligent. Hey, this person is good for nothing. Hey, this person. But we are no one to judge anyone. We don't know what is hidden inside each. Now, the teacher made a judgment of Edison, but his mother thought otherwise. Now, the teacher is with Edison at least 5-6 hours in a day, every day, which means that there's a good exposure. It's not that I met once and then I've come to conclusion. Right? So, we cannot judge people saying this person is intelligent, this person is dumb, this person is... If they're given the right environment, everyone can blossom. So which means that IQ is not something which is got by birth. You can develop it. You can build it over a period of time. And that is the very important takeaway, that at this age you have a long life ahead of you. So how do you ensure you use it to build your intellectual capacity for the right things? I think that is the takeaway. And that becomes a part of your personality. Very important again. And that's what this tells us. The second thing it tells us is the important role that mothers play in everyone's life. If you see the life of Mahatma Gandhi, can anyone tell me why he stuck to truth? What was the incident which prompted him to say, I will stick to truth from today onwards? Anyone knows that incident? Yeah, go ahead.
His mother was fasting to do puja, so because his mother should eat the food, so Mahatma Gandhi said that the sun has been went down. Like sir, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ
ಹೇಳಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಸೂರ್ಯ ಮುಳುಗಿದಾಗ ಅವ್ರ ಅಮ್ಮ ಊಟ ತಿನ್ನಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಹಾಂ ಹಾಂ
ಅಂದರೆ ಉಪವಾಸ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಬೆಳಗಿಂದ.
ಓಕೆ
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಅಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ.
ಹಾಂ
ಸೂರ್ಯ ಮುಳುಗಿದಾನೆ, ನೀನು ಅವ್ರ ಅಮ್ಮ ಊಟ ತಿನ್ನಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆ ಥರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಅವ್ರ ಅಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವತ್ತಿಂದ ಅವ್ರ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಇದು ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್, ಅಂದರೆ
ಹೌದು.
ಮಾತು ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ.
ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್. ಯು ಆರ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಬಿಗ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಲಾಸ್. ಅವರು ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟು. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದೇನೆಂದರೆ ಅವರು ದಿನ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಗಾರ್ಡನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕುಕ್ಕು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕುಕ್ಕು ಬಂದು ಇಟ್ ಕೂ, ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ 11-12 ಆಗೋಯ್ತು, ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಇವರು, ಹಸುವಾಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ಇದು ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಗಾರ್ಡನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಬರ್ಡ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಂದು ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಅದು ಆಯಿತು ಬಂದು ಈಗ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಅವಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಕೋಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಇವನು ಮಾಡಿದಾನಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋ ಮಾತು ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತಂದರೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸೋ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ಎ ಸನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಮದರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿಗೆ. ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸೋ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಅವನಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ನೋವಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೀ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಡೇ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್, ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ನಾನು ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. Though his intention was very noble, positive, but still the mother shaped him. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಬೀರ್ ದಾಸ್ ದೋಹಾ ಇದೆ, ಗುರು ಕುಂಭಾರ್ ಶಿಶುಕುಂಭ ಹೈ ಘಡಿ ಘಡಿ ಖಾಡೈ ಕೋಟ್ ಅಂತರ್ ಹಾತ್ ಸಹಾರ ದೈ ಬಾಹರ್ ಮಾರೈ ಚೋಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಪಾಟ್ಸ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕುಂಭಾರ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಪಾಟ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ವೀಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ವೀಲ್ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಕೈ ಒಳಗಿಟ್ಟು ಆಚೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಶೇಪ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಗುರು ಬಂದು ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಟರ್, ಆಚೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊಡಿತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಟು ಶೇಪ್ ಯು. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಮದರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಈಸ್ ಫುಲ್ ಆಫ್ mothers who've been responsible for geniuses, brave people, etc. Edison is one of that. So next we go to the emotional personality. This is a slightly more difficult thing, especially in today's times and today's generation. The emotional stability. You know, what are some of the common emotions that you face? Huh? Happiness, tears, okay. Tears is the outcome of an emotion. But what is the emotion which results in tears? Anger, yes, anger is a big emotion. Happiness is an emotion. What else? Sorrow, okay. ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಎಮೋಷನ್, ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ಎಮೋಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು? ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನು ಎಮೋಷನ್ನು? ಭಯ, ಫಿಯರ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಟು ಎವ್ರಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್. The question is, how do you handle those emotions? Right? That will determine your emotional stability, emotional quotient. Have you ever got angry? So what do you do when you get angry? She remains silent. Excellent. Why? So when I speak, I might hurt the other person. What she is not telling is, if she speaks when she is angry, she might hurt herself also. Right? It's possible? Yeah, definitely. Because when you hurt the other person, that person is not going to keep quiet, right? Every action Newton's third law. Right? So, anger can be handled in many ways. One is be silent. But is it possible always? Full ಕೋಪ ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಿಂತು ಆಗತ್ತಾ? Just leave that place. That is the best thing to do. Walk away. She is saying even that not possible. Full ಕೋಪ ಏನು ವಾಕ್ ಅವೇ? ಬಾ ನೋಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ, ಆಚೆ ಬಾ. Why do you think we are seeing so many road rage incidents? All these, it's because of this. So, how do you handle anger? There are multiple ways. What she said is absolutely correct. Just remain quiet. Yakandre, and it applies to any emotion. When you are very happy also, you should keep quiet. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಏನೇನೋ ಕಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದೀಗ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಫುಲ್ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ HOD ಬಂದರು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಂದು ಕಂಗ್ರ್ಯಾಚುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ 100. ಸರ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸರ್, ಕಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಸೊ being silent. Second is walk away. Third is, if you are angry, just drink a glass of cold water if you have access to that, or normal water, anything. Or just walk up and down. Just divert yourself from that emotion. That is the thing, basically. You have to divert yourself from that emotion. After half an hour, ನನಗೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಆಯಿತು, ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಒಂದು 20 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಕಾಪಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬರೆದ್ರು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದನೇ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ, ಯು ಆರ್ ದ ಕಲ್ಪ್ರಿಟ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪೆಂಡ್ ಅಂತ. ನಂಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಕೋಪ ಬಂತು. ನಾನು ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಟು ಆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಫುಲ್ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನನ್ನ ಮನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ. ಅವಾಗ ಅವ್ನು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫೋನ್ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ, ಸಾಯ್ ವೈ ಡು ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬರ್ನ್ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಫೋನ್ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಾನು ಐ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಐ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಎ ನ್ಯೂ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್. ಆ ಥರ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಮೇಲ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಆದರೆ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಅದಲ್ಲೇ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ಫೋಲ್ಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 2 hours ಐ ಗೋ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಟು ಸೆಂಡ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಸೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಐ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 50% ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಮೇಲ್. ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಹಿಂಗಲ್ಲ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬರಿಬಾರ್ದು, ನೋ ನಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್, ನೋ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈನ್ ಐ ಡಿಲೀಟ್, ಆ ಥರ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್, ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಇಮೋಷನ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ in emotion, don't react, whether positive or negative, doesn't matter. Just keep quiet if you can, or walk away from there. I think excellent examples. And how we can handle these emotions will determine how stable we are. And let me tell you, in today's world, idu bhala mukya. In professional life, emotional stability, ನೀವು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವಾಗ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಆಲ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಮೋಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ 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 ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಒರಿಜಿನೇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? What do you feel? What does that statement mean? ಏನು? Happiness does not originate from happiness. ಈಗ ಇರೋದು ಎರಡೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಾರೋ. ಇಟ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಒರಿಜಿನೇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಒರಿಜಿನೇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸಾರೋ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಓವರ್ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲ್ಸ್ Okay, yes? How many of you like gulab jamun? Ah. So, if this world had only gulab jamun as a eatable, nothing else in this world, would you still like it? Meaning there's no other item in this world. Why do you like it? Huh. But if suppose this world had only sweet, nothing else, there's no other taste in this world, let's assume. But there's nothing to explore. There's only sweet, that's all, nothing else. What is your favorite color? Blue. Suppose this whole world had only blue, nothing else, no other color in this world. Then would it be lovely? No. So, sweet you like when you contrast it with something spicy. Because you know there is spicy, because you know there are other colors, you like blue. But if blue was the only color in this world, then there's no question of. So, why do you enjoy happiness? Because there is sorrow. Because you know that there is something called sorrow which you have experienced, and you are contrasting this to that. But suppose there was nothing called sorrow in this world, only happiness, then that won't be an emotion at all, because it's constantly that only, right? That is why you say happiness doesn't come from happiness, it comes from sorrows, because that's where you contrast the two. And then so these are some of the elements which kind of tell you about your own emotional balance. And I think patience. How many of you think you are patient? Ah, lovely. At least one hand went up. Ah, there are two hands behind. Yeah, great. But they are like this, they are still undecided. This or this. Maybe. Right? Okay. So, patience is something which is dying very fast as a personality trait. Why? Why do you say, why do you think this is happening? Patience is at a premium. ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಪೇಷನ್ಸು ತುಂಬ ಈ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಪೇಷನ್ಸು? ಏನು ಕಾರಣ ಇರ್ಬೋದು? ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಎವ್ರಿವನ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಹರಿ. ಎವ್ರಿವನ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಹರಿ. Competition. I think she's sitting a little far away, but she's been answering a lot. You please pass it. Competition. Yeah. See, we are in this world of instant gratification. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೂಡಲ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟೀ, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಫಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಯಾರು ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ culture has actually resulted in the patience coming down. So my suggestion to you will be, try to get away from anything which is instant. As a practice, try to avoid anything instant. So if you are making tea at home, don't use tea bags which is instant tea. Just dip Dip, dip, dip. If you want to eat something, don't eat Maggi. Instant noodles. Make some. Just try it out. I can guarantee you, your patience will go up. Definitely. Tolerance, again, it is linked to patience. If you are patient, you will be more tolerant. Not always, but it is linked. Peaceful. Empathetic andre ಏನು? What ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಂಪಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ? ಎಂಪಥಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಸಿಂಪತಿ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡು, ಎಂಪಥಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಏನು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸು? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಸಿಂಪತಿ ಎಂಪತಿ ಏನು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸು? Any of you have heard the word empathy? So anyone wants to say what? Yeah. Sympathy is when you feel, empathy is when you act upon it. Okay. Any other? Okay. Empathy is trying to motivate people who are in suffering. Okay. Empathy is one's thoughts and feelings. What about sympathy? Okay. Caring. Empathy is more of perception of a person. Understanding their feelings is empathy, but I feeling sorry for them is sympathy. Absolutely. Give her a big round of applause. Absolutely. Empathy is putting yourself in that person's shoes and experiencing what that person is going through. Sympathy is, like she said, okay, I am offering some words of support or condolence or whatever. I feel bad seeing someone or whatever. That is sympathy. But empathy is, I am putting myself in that person's shoes. And that's a big, big difference. For example, let us say I want to solve some problem of a slum dweller. Okay? Sympathy is, I am going saying, oh, Papa, ಇವ್ರು ಈ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅರೆ ಈ ಥರ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಇದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ. Empathy ಅಂದರೆ, I will go and live in that slum for 1 week. Because I will experience what that person is experiencing. Then I will understand much better. Then I will also feel a lot more. She is shaking her head. Illama idella yaar ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? You know, once Mother Teresa was walking on the streets of Calcutta and she saw that there was some person ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಟ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಒಬ್ರು ಯಾರೋ. So she immediately went, lifted that person up. Extremely bad condition, pus oozing, ಇದು ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಅಸಹ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ವೂಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಇದು ಅದು. ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಫಾರಿನರ್ ಇದ್ದರು. ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಇವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಮದರ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್ ಈವನ್ ಫಾರ್ $1 million ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ $1 million ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ನಾನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ತಯಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಅವಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಜವಾಬು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಈವನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೂ ಫಾರ್ $1 million. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ದುಡ್ಡುಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. I do it because I love the person. It doesn't matter who he or she is. I do it because that's my duty. ಸೊ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ $1 million ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ದಿ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಪತಿ. Respect parents and teachers. I think it's very easily understood, not so easily practiced. It is practiced at different levels by different people, but I think it's important. So these are some qualities if we can develop as youth, and surely it will help us in emotional stability. See, the place where I work, they mentioned that I work at Agastya International Foundation. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋವಾಗ ವಿ ಸೇ ದಟ್ ಒಂದು ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ನೋಡಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. ಆ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಹೆಸರು BEE. ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅದು? BE ಅಲ್ಲ, BEE. ಗೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಒಂದು ಇ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದೆ ಒಂದು ಇ. ಅರೆ, she says enthusiasm, empathy. Pretty close. Anyone else wants to try? Because only one word is there on the slide, the second one is not there. Give.
Be emotionally enthusiastic.
Be emotionally enthusiastic, okay. So it's called Bachelor of Energy and Enthusiasm. But I think she deserves, if you have run out of stock. So what that means is, if I have that fire in the belly, if I have that energy, enthusiasm, then I will surely succeed. That is our belief. If someone has that, even if they don't know something, they will learn because of that enthusiasm to learn. So that is a very important thing. Utsaham, as we say in Sanskrit. Sahasam and dhairyam, perseverance and courage. Perseverance means sticking to something until you achieve. You don't let go. Oh, I tried, nothing happened, so forget it. You don't do that. Perseverance means until you achieve this. What happened to Abhishek Sharma in this World Cup? Duck. But Gautam Gambhir persevered with him, and he also, his perseverance finally paid off in the finals, right? But normally what happens when you're almost there, you give up. They say that someone wanted to break a stone. 20 times he hit it with the hammer, nothing happened. So he left it, leave it. Another guy came and hit once and it broke. Now why did it break? Why did this guy, why was he able to break in one shot? It is 21 times that it was hit, not once. The other guy already made it very weak by hitting 20 times. So we end up giving up when we should not. So that's perseverance, not to give up. Courage, I'm sure all of us understand courage. Discrimination, knowledge. See, what's the difference between intelligence and knowledge? Okay, knowledge is something which you get from books, etc. Intelligence is something which evolves. So, I'll give one example. Tomato. Is tomato a fruit or a vegetable? Everyone knows it's a fruit. Why is it a fruit? What's the difference between a fruit and a vegetable? Any idea? Huh? Seeds. What's the difference? Why is it a fruit? Why is it called a fruit and not a vegetable? Anything which comes from a flower is a fruit. It's a natural process. Okay. So, knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not using it in fruit salad. So that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom or intelligence. So that discrimination, while I know this is a fruit, I also know it is not supposed to be used in fruit salad. So discrimination is something which is given only to human beings. Your ability to say what is right and what is not right. So let's just see this.
Keep yourself so cool.
Very simple. Don't think about the result. It's a
Wait.
How do you keep yourself so cool?
very simple. Don't think about the result. It's a result that puts pressure on us. You know, what if this happens? What if we don't win the game? What if we don't get selected? But again, worry about the controllables, you know, and whatever the controllables are, we take care of it, we'll get the desired result. If we don't get the desired result, we'll improve. We'll change our plans, we'll execute better, and we'll get a chance to prove ourselves again. Thinking about the result never gives you result. Yes, you may have a target in mind, but what is more important is to take care of the small steps in life, you know, what needs to be done, what I am supposed to do, what extra I can do, and you know, that will help us achieve the target.
So he is called Mr. Cool, right? Dhoni, Captain Cool. And sorry? Yes, I am sure all of us have our own nicknames for him. But look at the emotional stability. You know, 2 balls to go, 6 runs to win. You won't find any tension on his face. What's going on in his mind, we don't know. But huge stability, emotional stability. So whatever we discussed about emotional quotient, this is kind of a summary of that you see in Dhoni. And this becomes very important in very, very crucial stages when it is a do or die situation. Actually, more than your intelligence quotient, your emotional quotient will determine whether you succeed or fail in a crunch situation like this. Remember that match where Virat Kohli scored a 6 of the last ball against Pakistan? 6 runs to win, 1 ball to go. Any amount of skill is not going to help, meaning only skill is not going to help. You need skill definitely, but you have to have emotional stability at that kind of a time. You know, so that is the importance of this particular thing.
How do you keep yourself so cool?
Okay, lastly we go to the spiritual personality. Now what is spirituality? What do you guys feel? And the answer is there in that slide. It's already there. That's the clue. Meaning, but you may have a different idea of spirituality, whatever you feel, that's fine, perfectly fine. Anyone wants to take a quick shot? What is spirituality for you? What does it mean? ಜಪ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದಾ? Having good thoughts, very good. But you're pretty close. ಬೇರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಸೈಲೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಹೇಳಿ. ಏನು ಈಗ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹರ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್, ದಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಹಿಯರ್ ದಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ದಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್? ಈಗ ಯಾರೋ ಇವರು ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಪಾಸಿಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಾನು ಇವ್ರು ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್? ಪಾಸಿಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯು? ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್? ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ರಿಚುವಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ರಿಚುವಲ್ಸ್. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡೋದು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುಡ್. ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್. Yeah. What is the image that comes to your mind? Just ಇವ್ರು ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ಲು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇಮೇಜ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಇನ್ ಗಾಡ್. ಹಾಂ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಸೊ ಈಚ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ನೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಾಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್, one is about the having good thoughts, one is belief in God, then one is about positivity. There are multiple things. But one of the definitions of spirituality is very, very simple. It's the process of cleaning our mind. That's why there are two photos of cleaning. But cleaning what? Our mind. And cleaning it of what? All the animal qualities. If I can clean my mind and remove all the animal qualities, then I am spiritual. That's all. Simple. So like she said, good thoughts. So what are these animal qualities? Anger, greed, jealousy, pride, desires, these kind of things. In Sanskrit they say kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madha, matsarya. These are the animal qualities. If I can clean my mind of these animal qualities, then I am spiritual. Very simple, straightforward. Nothing else. It is not about rituals. It is not about belief in God. It is not about doing japa, dhyana, yoga, whatever. Okay? How can we develop the spiritual quotient? One is through meditation. Yeah, excellent. I know many of you are meditating here right now. Right? Correct? Some of you at least are meditating. We have mastered this art of sleeping with eyes open. Correct? If you go through college, you will become a master of that. How to sleep with eyes open. Huh? Yeah, so meditation, try it out. See, all these, what happens normally, I'll tell you, we talked about habits, right? If you want to develop a habit, the biggest challenge is our own resistance, internal resistance. But let me tell you how you can develop. For example, if you want to start meditation, don't say, I will meditate for half an hour. Then you're sure to fail. Say, I will start meditation for 2 minutes every day. 2 minutes. You can find 2 minutes time? All of you, anyone who doesn't have 2 minutes time? Huh? 2 minutes, that's all, nothing else. Now, once you get used to that, make it 4 minutes. Slowly, it may take 3 months, it may take 6 months, it may take 1 year. Doesn't matter. You will slowly be able to do that for 15 minutes without any issue. You know, there was this thing, there was one guy who was a drug addict. And he went to his guru and said, see, I want to get rid of my addiction, but I tried so much, I can't. Please help me. So what did the guru say? If you agree to do whatever I tell you, I'll help. Then he said, yeah. Then he said, no problem, please continue taking drugs. This guy, huh? Huh? Can you repeat that? No, please continue taking drugs. Huh? But take this piece of chalk, take as much drug as the weight of this chalk. And every day on this board, you write Om 3 times with this chalk. That's all. Huh? Arey, now I have license. My guru is saying take drugs. Arey yaar. Zindabad, Guruji. Such a wonderful guru. I'll never find another guru like you in this world. And what happened after 6 months? What do you think happened after 6 months? Why? The chalk piece became smaller and smaller and then disappeared. And along with that, what disappeared? His habit of drugs. And he didn't even realize. Because it's going down by so much every day. So the way to kill habits or to build habits is incrementalism. You want to start morning walk, start with 5 minutes. Don't do more than that. Then when you get used to it, after 3 weeks, make it 7 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever. And it will become a habit, I can guarantee that. 100% success rate. So meditation, prayer, service to society, all these are habits which we can develop that way. Service to society, you don't need to do every day. Can you do for 5 minutes? It can be a small thing. It can just be having a chat with the security guard in your apartment and just listening to that person because they have some problems they want to share. That's all. That is a service. Service doesn't mean I have to go and build some buildings or dig canals or feed 10 lakh people or something. Make that a habit and you will see the transformation in yourself. And what is the single transformation is you will start thinking about others. You will not think about yourself. That is the big change. Once that happens, there's nothing to stop you. So your spiritual quotient actually comes in the middle. You know, you have the left brain and the right brain. One part is the intelligence quotient, one part is the emotional part, and the spiritual quotient is in the middle trying to balance the two. Where you're trying to be equanimous, it's neither swinging this way nor this way, and you get a good balance. This is self-explanatory, what Mahatma Gandhi said, and it's linked to spiritual quotient. 7 deadly sins: wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, science without humanity. Basically, I'm trying to build bombs using my scientific knowledge. So I'm not bothered about humanity. Whatever you learn, do it for the good of everyone, not for destroying. Politics without principle. This is the default today. Right? Worship without sacrifice. Sacrifice here doesn't mean killing animals or something. It is what sacrifice I do. Can I sacrifice jealousy? Can I sacrifice pride? Can I sacrifice anger in myself? That is what this means. How many of you have used QR code? That's all. All of you, I'm sure, have used QR code, right? Just see how that QR code originated.
Japanese engineer gave away $1 trillion idea for free. 1992, Japan. Workers at Toyota factories are scanning 10 different barcodes just to track one car part. They're exhausted. The system is broken. Meet Masahiro Hara, a quiet 35-year-old engineer who loves playing Go during lunch breaks. While everyone else is complaining about the problem, he's staring at those black and white stones on the game board. Then it hits him. What if codes could work like Go? Not just left to right, but up and down too. More information, same space. For 6 months, Hara obsessively studies every piece of printed material he can find. Magazines, newspapers, flyers. He's hunting for the perfect pattern that scanners will never confuse with random text. Finally, he cracks it. The magic ratio. 3 small squares that can be read from any angle, instantly. In 1994, the QR code is born. His company wants to patent everything and charge royalties. Here's where Hara makes the decision that shocks everyone. He gives it away, completely free. No licensing fees, nothing. His colleagues think he's lost his mind, but Hara believes something bigger. If you want to change the world, you don't own it, you share it. Fast forward to today. QR codes process over 2 billion transactions daily in China alone. The global QR payment market, $35 billion and growing. That free decision just created the foundation of our cashless world. Sometimes the biggest wins come from giving everything away.
Yeah, so can we have the lights back? Just imagine if this guy said, I'll charge 1 paisa per transaction. How many billions he would have made? And he is not a wealthy man like Bill Gates or something. He is just an engineer working at Toyota. And he said, no, I'll give it away free. If he decided to charge 1 paisa or whatever, maybe today we would not be using, because every payment that you make in UPI, you will have to pay some commission. Just imagine. So what do you think is the spiritual quotient of this guy Hara? He is not sitting and doing puja or anything like that. He is up there in terms of spiritual quotient. Because he is only thinking of others, he is not thinking of himself. So that is the transformation that we are looking at when we talk of spiritual quotient. And that will happen only when, if I don't have jealousy, I don't have pride, I don't have, automatically I'll think of others. Just like Hara did. You know, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, once some reporter asked him, what is this reason behind your energy? You are so old, but still you are so energetic. He said, I am always thinking about what I can do for others. That's all, nothing else. And that is what gives me the strength. So just think about it. Every day when you go to bed, before going to bed, just think about, did I do anything for others today? That's all. Even if it's a small thing, it's excellent. Pat yourself on the back. Try and make it a habit. Just think, it will take you half a minute to think. Did I do at least one thing today to help someone? And you will see how your spiritual quotient starts growing.
Japanese engineer.
So, for an integrated personality, we spoke about 4 things. Physical quotient, you get at home, kind of food you eat, kind of exercise you do, etc. Intelligence quotient, you get at college, a lot of stuff. hard work for your brains, hard work for yourself. And if you're interested further in building emotional quotient and the spiritual quotient, then surely the Satya Sai Seva organization can pitch in because there are a lot of activities which help build this emotional quotient and the spiritual quotient. And again, let's kind of conclude by remembering that it is one integrated whole. It is not about this or this or this or this. I need a totality of everything. And remember this in the beginning, what did I say? Where does this help you? In also getting a job, which I'm sure all of us want, right? After we graduate, that's the reason why we are here, to learn something and give it back in the form of a job. So, if we are able to achieve this, then how would you know whether you have an integrated personality? This is what you do. You would always be smiling. Have a prayer on your lips, not for yourself, for others. Love in your heart. And service with your hands. This is how it will manifest. It will show up in these forms. So, all of you have been wonderful listeners. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you got something out of it. Even if there's one small thing you got out of this, I would deem it as a privilege for myself. And you will only get something when you try it out, not when you listen. Listening is the first step. Only when we act on what we have listened will we get the benefit of this. So, in order to try and push ourselves to do that, I would request all of you to kindly stand up and together let us take a pledge. Okay, kindly repeat after me. I pledge to do the following. Everyone, I pledge to do the following. From now on, I will focus on improving myself to gain an integrated personality. Can be a little louder, right? It's for yourself. I am keen and serious about my self-development in all spheres of life. Firstly, I shall improve my physical health with healthy food habits, physical exercises like jogging, sports and yoga, etc. I shall not fall prey to negative habits like smoking and drinking, which will affect my physical health. Secondly, I shall improve my intellectual and emotional personality with good behavior, manners, etiquette, communication, and also develop a positive attitude in life. I shall respect my parents and teachers who guide me to success. I shall also improve my spiritual quotient by regular prayer and meditation prescribed per my faith, which will help me develop qualities like compassion, caring, and sharing. I shall also practice human values like truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence in all aspects of my life, and lead an ethical and morally upright life. Finally, I shall, to the best of my ability, participate in social service activities which will help my society and my nation. Okay, thank you very much, all of you. I hope it was useful. It was my pleasure having spent the last couple of hours with you, and wishing each one of you all the very best. Thank you so much. Thanks also to the management of this school, the principal of this college, the principal and the other staff who helped make this possible.
Just wait a minute, please. Wait a minute. Don't go outside. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. That was a wonderful session. So please give him a big round of applause for his energy and enthusiasm. He started at exactly 11:10 and finished by 1:05. He said 2 hours, so he maintained his discipline. So hats off to you, sir, and the consistency was very good from beginning to end. You were just listeners, but he was the speaker, the same energy. So morning I observed there are many takeaways you have to take from this session. Because when I entered this hall, 10:30, I saw some students are struggling to sit in the session. They are not listening to the, orders given by the teacher. And where we asked students to put up the chair. Sir said, do service to the society. So don't think that someone is seeing you, someone is blaming you or that. So first service, give service to the society, little small help. So even after asking the students to come and help here for just shifting the chairs from dais to that side,